Welcome everyone to Ideas and Reality. History of 15 centuries. The dismantling of the empire, the churches scattered throughout the territory became substitutes for the shattered Roman administration. In the general confusion, while the forms of a new era barely emerged through the mists of the temporary, priests became registrars, judges, and mayors. The seeds of the future European aristocracy germinated on the battlefield, in the struggle against the barbarian invader. In every village and parish, community leaders who stood out in the defense effort were rewarded by the people with land, animals, and coins, and by the church with noble titles and the legitimizing anointing of their authority. They became great landowners, and counts, and dukes, and princes, and kings. Agrarian property was never the foundation or origin, but the fruit of their power. Military power. The power of a fierce and proud caste, enriched by the sword and not the plough, reluctant to mingle with others, not dedicated to the cultivation of intelligence, only good for priests and women, nor to the land, the responsibility of serfs and tenants, nor to business, the occupation of bourgeois and Jews. For over a millennium, they ruled Europe by the force of arms, supported by the tripod of ecclesiastical and cultural legitimization, popular obedience translated into labor and taxes, and financial support obtained or extorted from merchants and bankers in times of crisis and war. Their rise culminates and their decline begins with the foundation of absolutist monarchies and the advent of the nation-state. It culminates because these new formations embody the power of the warrior caste in its purest form, self-sourced by direct delegation from God, without the intermediation of the priesthood, reduced to the subordinate condition of forced and recalcitrant accomplice. But it is already the beginning of the decline because the absolute monarch, coming from the aristocracy, stands out from it and has to seek against it, and against the church, the support of the Third Estate, which thereby becomes an independent political force capable of jointly intimidating the king, the clergy, and the nobility. If the medieval system had lasted for 10 centuries, absolutism did not last more than 3. Even less will the reign of liberal bourgeoisie endure. A century of economic and political freedom is enough to make some capitalists so immensely wealthy that they no longer wish to submit to the whims of the market that enriched them. They want to control it, and the instruments for this are threefold: the mastery of the state, to implement the status policies necessary for the perpetuation of the oligopoly, the encouragement of socialist and communist movements that invariably favor the growth of state power, and the enlistment of an army of intellectuals who prepare public opinion to bid farewell to bourgeois liberties and joyfully enter a world of omnipresent and obsessive repression, extending even to the minutest details of private life and everyday language, presented as a paradise adorned with both the abundance of capitalism and the social justice of communism. In this new world, the economic freedom essential for the functioning of the system is preserved to the strict extent necessary to subsidize the extinction of freedom in the political, social, moral, educational, cultural, and religious domains. In doing so, the mega-capitalists change the very foundation of their power. They no longer rely on wealth as such, but on the control of the political and social process. This control, liberating them from the adventurous exposure to market fluctuations, makes them a durable dynastic power, a neo-aristocracy capable of safely navigating the vicissitudes of fortune and the succession of generations, sheltered in the strong castle of the state and international organizations. They are no longer mega-capitalists, they are meta-capitalists, the class that transcends capitalism and transforms it into the only socialism that has ever existed or will ever exist, the socialism of the magnates and the social engineers in their service. This new aristocracy does not arise, like the previous one, from military heroism rewarded by the people and blessed by the church. It arises from Machiavellian premeditation founded on self-interest, and through a spurious clergy of subsidized intellectuals, it blesses itself. The remaining question is what kind of society this self-invented aristocracy can create, and how long a structure so obviously based on lies can endure. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This text was taken from the article, History of 15 Centuries, by Olavo de Carvalho, written in 2004.